My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slay the Spire modded with Mod the Spire Launcher, Base Mod, Fetch Mod, Always Well, The Construct, SCS Lib, Hubris, Relic Sorter, RNG, RNG, Replay the Spire, Infinite Spire, The Mystic, Beaked the Cultist, Shop Mod, and Black Mod installed. Now, you might recognize there one new mod. That's right, Shop Mod's been re-included. Of course, Shop Mod's been here and has been re-included, but the one to which I am actually referring is Beaked the Cultist. Beaked the Cultist is a character that was developed primarily in the Beaked the Cultist channel in my Discord, that is to say the official Republic Discord, linked in the description down below. Initially theorized, or initially pitched, I believe, by Faman, and then expanded upon by a ridiculous amount of people. So I definitely can't name everyone, but I do believe the primary coding was done by Filth and Moocows Go Moo. Moocows Go Moo, you might recognize from a previous mod that I'd played. Which was it? Moocows Go Moo. Oh, Construct, obviously. So let's just leap right into it. Here they are. Kind of a bit of a berserker. Based off of, obviously, the cultists that already exist in the character, in the game. Has 50 max HP, that is the lowest so far that we've seen. Relies on healing and familiar techniques to power through, resorting to potent but hard to replicate spells. Has the default relic Mending Plumage, which is, upon playing a card, heal for 1 HP. So as you can see, that's gonna incentivize you to play a little more aggressive than you otherwise might. The base deck is super interesting. I can't wait to open that. In that, as you can see, it leans more towards aggression, as you might consider, with 6 strikes and 4 defends. And then at the very bottom, we have 3 ceremony cards. Each of them, as you might guess by the art, is effectively a small version of the power demon form that already exists in the Ironclad, but they are specifically to reference the fact that cultists in this game gain 3 ritual on the first turn and then gain strength each turn after that, or rather gain strength for each point of ritual each turn after that. The ceremony upgrade to remove ethereal. So this is effectively a deck that has its win condition already in it, and you can go with that or you can embrace something else. As you might imagine, waiting to play all of the ceremony, especially considering you start with 3 energy, waiting to play all of the ceremony, so you would need to get them all on different turns and get super lucky with it and somehow find the time to intermittently defend, but then at the very end, you can suddenly start making up your HP. So a lot of the fights have the same kind of curve in terms of your HP, like you take a bunch of damage at the very start and then you try and heal it over the rest of it. I guess that would differentiate itself depending on the build you ran. All right. Now, one thing you can't really do with this character is lose max HP, because 50 max HP is a very problematic position to be in for a character that doesn't have that much access in their base card set to defense. A lot of the defense for this character comes from healing after you take damage, or plated armor, which is not entirely reliable, especially if you're behind the defensive curve. Like, quote-unquote evasion from having the ability to fly. These kinds of things. Intangibility occasionally as well. Enemies in your next 3 combats have 1 HP. I could get a maximum of 1 elite with that. What's our quest? Duct tape funnel, as well as turn the tables overpower poke. Now, I'm not familiar enough with the card set yet to tell you what these are. I know overpower is like 9 damage plus 1 for each 5 points of HP that you currently have. So it's better earlier on, or it's better when you're fully healed, or it's better when you have max, increased max HP. Turn the tables I'm not familiar with though. Poke I've definitely seen before, but I'm not familiar with either. Actually, I think that's draw a card if it's an attack, deal 5 damage, and then upgrades to draw 2 cards if either is an attack, deal 5 damage. Definitely can't trade the starter relic. Literally, if we do that, we immediately lose. I think I actually take the remove 2 cards. But in order to mitigate the negative effect on my HP, I'm going to remove 2 strikes. Leaving my deck a lot more defensive than it was prior. Like, oh no, I took 6 damage here on the first turn, but it's totally okay to play 6 cards over the rest of the combat. There's all our ceremonies out. We're getting 3 strength per turn. Ooh, hell yeah, I get to full defend this turn. Nice. And then strike, strike, defend. Now, this is actually something, the Mending Plumage, because it heals you every single time you play a card, it has a couple different interactions. Number one, you want to play more cards, so you don't want to play high-cost cards, you want to play a lot of low-cost cards, especially if you want to, or rather, if you want to capitalize on the heal in that fashion. But also, it incentivizes doing something that I've only mostly broached in my Darkest Dungeon series, and that is splitting up fights into control, then recovery. So you control the field, you kill a couple targets, you maybe stun them, you hold them down. That's in Darkest Dungeon in particular. And then at the very end, you recover. Here, it can happen as well. I mean, there is a stunning strike, or stunning blow, I think it's called, which is the ability to gain intangibility repeatedly. And a lot of the time, I would just stall out playing that every single turn, and just a couple other cards so it could heal up. Considering I plan to play all of my rituals basically every fight, Dig Deep seems pretty good. Heal 3 HP for each ridge you will have, 5 on the upgrade, so that's 15 for 1. Not bad. Mimic Machine, add a random defect card to your hand, it goes 0 this turn, and the upgrade is actually not making this 0 cost, but it upgrades the random defect card. Interestingly, I think the Mimic, I think there's 3 versions of this. There's Mimic Machine, there's Mimic Huntress, and Mimic Demon? I'm not entirely certain on that last one, but the thing about that is the Silent is almost never going to be like on the same par, because you also have to think they are giving you cards from the card set of the character, right? So is the average defect card more effective or less effective than the average Ironclad card? Is the fact that it would be 0 cost more or less effective? Well, I mean, you can hit Echo Form, you can hit Meteor Strike, but you could hit Capacitor. I'm going to take Dig Deep. Want to transform, upgrade a random card. Ooh, woohoo! Another one of our strikes got transformed and upgraded, and it got transformed into Windbringer, which has with it a new mechanic. The new mechanic is Wither. Permanently decrease the card's power by the Wither value. If it ever reaches 0, the card becomes depleted, which makes it unplayable. Also came pre-upgraded. Nice. That's going to be a great way for the ceremonies to suddenly turn around and just kill everyone. So that's going to be really good, especially for the... Take damage down, fine. That's going to be really good, especially for the Sentry fight. Now, unfortunately, we are very much at the whims of whether or not we... Oh, wow, that was probably a wrong thing to have done there. That's fine, I'll go super aggressive at the end. We're basically at the whims of whether or not... whether or not we draw the ceremonies in the same hand. Because if we do draw, you know, like all 3 ceremonies in the same hand, 2 of those are going to exhaust, sorry. I should have double defended there first, by the way. I'm going to get better at that over time. Ooh, it's the stunning blow. Nice. So we've got Flinch over here, which is 1 for 12, withers by 2, upgrades to wither by 1. Now, again, you cannot directly compare these to cards from other classes because of the... Not only because of the wither mechanic, but also because other classes are better at different things. Like, the Beaked is probably going to be pretty bad at defending. That's kind of part and parcel. That's them. That's who they are. So, to look at this and go, oh, it's a really bad leap, is not the correct way to look at it. Instead, you look at it and go, well, I guess if you really need defense, that's there for you. That said, unfortunately, it's in the same as Stunning Blow over here, which is 3 to deal 9, upgrades to 13, as well as gain 1 intangibility. The ability to gain intangibility without exhaust, you can see there's no exhaust on the very bottom there, is dangerous. on a common card especially. Because I had a couple of decks before that were... I obviously test these in my own time to make sure that they're things that I want to bring to the channel. I had a couple decks recently that were just like Stunning Blow, and I would just play one every single hand. And that was just enough. But gosh, only imagine if you got Snecko as well. Anyway, I'll be taking it. I'm sorry, there's a card in each of the last two selections that I just ignored. That's not intentional. That's just that I got excited about the selection that I wanted to make. So I can Stunning Blow here for defense. Not gonna. But it could have. Defense strike. I've got that Dig Deep for much on later. Intangibility saving us 13 HP that turn. Jeez. I'll take that Poison Potion. Replenish. So, replenish one use of a Wither card in your hand for 3. That's so much. Upgrades to 2 cost, but like, I think that still might be overcosted by 1. Just because you need to have this in your hand, you need to have the Wither card, and you need to find some way to attack and defend over the top. This doesn't give you instantaneous value. It's super expensive for something that doesn't give you instantaneous value, so I can't take that. Tweet is apply 1 vulnerable, apply 2 on the upgrade. Now, Tweet's in an interesting position, because Tweet is, well, it's bad trip, right? But being a common card for this class, you have more access to it. And especially considering how high our kind of expected energy expenditure on each turn is, having something that just costs 0 to dilute the deck is super handy. And it's just another heal per turn with a Mending Plumage. This is really unfortunate. The super unfortunate thing here is I'm probably going to get at least 2 ceremonies in the same hand, if not all of them. Okay, cool. I did end up getting 2, but unfortunately, not the right time, really. Ah, well, there goes that ceremony. Stunning Blow, take myself a turn. Stunning Blow again? No. I will prioritize offense. I don't know if I want to Windbringer, though. Especially because I've got Stunning Blow in the next hand. I'm not going to. Tweet before that Stunning Blow. And then 3 strikes next turn is lethal. 2 strikes next turn is lethal. I'll also use Defend beforehand so I can heal for another. Toxic Egg this early in the game. Oh, yeah. Whenever you add a skill card to your deck, it is immediately upgraded. It's worth noting that this is not yet appearing as upgraded just because it was generated at the same time as the Toxic Egg. So the upgraded version of this is lose 50% of your current HP to gain 6 strength. We do have the ability to very, very suddenly kind of heal back up. So these are here for a long fight. This would be here for a short fight. Do I want to take Feel My Pain? I'm not certain. So Cursing Blood upgraded is enemy loses 3 strength. It withers by 1. I don't know what the withering value is. Oh, the wither effect is decreasing the strength reduction. Okay, so... Okay. I mean, it looks a lot like Disarm. That also loses you HP. And also withers. Doesn't exhaust, so you do have the ability to play it up to 3 times in a single fight for 3 to 1 in terms of strength reduction on a target, so you can reduce 6 with a single card. But then, then the card is unplayable from then on out. It's not, by the way, unplayable for the rest of that combat. It's unplayable from then on out. You have to replenish withered cards. Struggle. So this is obviously meant to go with a deck that runs a lot of withered cards. Can only be played if Struggle is the only playable card in hand. This confused me. If you don't have the energy to play any of the other cards in your hand, they are not technically unplayable. But the problem with that is they're also, in common parlance at the very least, not playable. So maybe if this said can only be played if it's the only card in your hand that is not unplayable, capital U, because the keyword unplayable capital U is used on cards that are considered by Struggle to be unplayable because they're depleted or because they're a curse or because they're a status, etc. I'll probably be taking none of these. Feel My Pain, maybe if it's Slime Boss. It's not, it's the Snecko. So another 0 cost is probably not a great idea to pick up right now. So here you can see down at the very bottom is Reverse Withering. And I don't know exactly if it just reverses it to the full value. Like if you wither something a bunch of times, you can then just reverse wither it to get it to its full value again. I'm not certain if that's the case. But I'm going to find out, because that Windbringer is... Well, I mean, it's Cleave, right? But Cleave would be very, 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 very problematic to put in this class, because this class has such easy access, literally in their base deck, to Strength gain. Alright, I'm going to Smith. I kind of want to get the ceremonies done. I just want to always be able to have all of them out, so I don't want them to wither. It's interesting. Stunning Blow, there's literally a stun in the game. I've seen another character take advantage of it. God, who took advantage of stunning? I ended up stunning a target for 2 turns in a row. What character uses stun? Might be the Marksman? Not certain. Still probably just Stunning Blow on the opening turn here. No reason to do anything else. Actually, I'll also throw in a Poison Potion. We've got a lot of potions at the moment. Probably even end up using the Shield Potion in the over the course, rather, of this combat. Sure. Yeah, Tweet is probably not a great idea right now. I mean... 7 goes to 10, 11 goes to 16, so 10, 10, 16 is 36, 36 plus 4 is 40. Maximum damage I could do this turn, but it sets up for lethal next turn is the thing. Could also skill pot to see how much I can defend. Sure. Yeah, that's not gonna get us defending. Fine. There's my first Wither trigger. Lame. I was really, really hoping I was gonna be able to kill this turn or even stun. Alright, Ceremony Dig Deep. Fine. Now as many cards as I can cast this turn. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 total. Strawberry? Hell yeah! Raise that max HP by 7. That's exactly the kind of thing I want. Second Tweet pre-upgraded. Trade-off is exhaust 1 random card in your hand with a -1, draw 3 cards. See, the problem with this is because it doesn't upgrade to remove random, it's really difficult to use. Like, you need to not care about anything you have. And typically the way that I tend to run is with thin decks, right? So the cards that I have in my deck are there for a reason. And especially because, like, Trade-off is in a weird position as well, because you also want to draw typically before you do anything else. But what if there's a good card in your hand that this then exhausts? And it exhausts 1 random card first, but then 2, 3, 4, etc. Here's the poke, by the way. I could take that literally just to get 98 gold. Draw 1 card if it's an attack, deal 5 damage. Upgrades to draw 2 for each attack drawn this way. No, I'm just taking another tweak. Hey, back prep. On the start of each additional... Sorry, at the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. There's the reverse withering. Restores a card's wither back to its default. Oh, okay, cool. So it just restores its entire way back there. Nice. Let's get both of the other ceremonies upgraded. This has an extra rest. See, the thing is, without the ceremony, we don't actually deal that much damage. So as much as I wanted to stunning blow there, I really got to get one of those out. That's actually just short. Wow. I thought we were actually going to get there, as well as get as much healing as we possibly could have gotten on that final turn. Resilience is interesting. Lose 3 strength, gain 1 artifact. What do you do with the artifacting? I guess, like, again, strength is easier for this character to come by than anyone else. Like, with all of your ceremony in play, with all of your, rather, rituals in play, or the rituals that start in the base deck, I will be careful to note. With all of those, the resilience means that you're only going to lose 1 turn worth of strength gain in order to get that artifacting. But then what is that artifacting protecting you from? Like, enemies, obviously, like, it can protect you from the confusion. It can protect you from the hex, right? It can protect you from those kinds of things, but I don't know. Still don't know about that. Stick Smack is actually super interesting as well. This is an entire deck archetype by itself. Deal 6 damage, shuffle a stick into your draw pile, and then the upgraded version is an upgraded stick. The stick is a 0-cost card that increases the damage of this card, Stick Smack, and returns it to your hand. And it doesn't exhaust, I don't believe. So you end up with a deck that's just Stick Smack plus a bunch of 0-costs that pull it back into your hand. So, and upgrade its damage as well. It gets pretty wild pretty quickly. The thing is, we're using the Ceremony currently to kind of ball out of control. I don't think we need that. Hey, it's Eric, you're in Puro. Puro? Sorry, Poro. Actually, you know what? I don't know the actual pronunciation of it, so either way, I might be wrong. Hell yeah. Windbringer, 10 damage to all enemies. So this got, quote unquote, changed, as in upgraded. Wait, no. Scrambled until the end of round. But I think it's still trying to use... I think it's increasing the energy cost, but it's trying to... It's trying to keep things even by also increasing the wither without knowing that the wither is, you know, necessarily negative. That might be because I have the ability to mess with magic numbers in my replay the Spire options. So that's probably on me. Let's be real. Stunning blow. Couldn't give me more intangibility, eh? Hey. It's a self buff. Unfortunately on Eric there. Uh-oh. Well, dig deep, heal 2 for each ritual you have. Yeah, sure. I mean, as far as turns where I can't attack go, that's probably one of the best that I could have had. Hell yeah, block him. Trying to keep all of their curl up. Curl ups. I'm trying to keep all of their curls up. Popped. Apply 5 vulnerable. Sure. See, the thing is, I know that my deck still has the Windbringer in it. That's my little secret, my advantage there. Okay. Tiger Marble from Replay the Spire. At the start of each combat, add a random card which exhausts your hand to cost 0 until played. Foresight pre-upgraded is pretty wild. Let's gain 8 block this turn. Next turn, gain 2 energy. Specifically for this deck where I'm really struggling to pay for Stunning Blow as well as all of the ceremonies on the first shuffle through, that could be super useful. There's also Brace, which is Retain, gain 0 block. Block increases by 2 for each skill you play while this is in your hand. It's an interesting way. Okay, so bear with me for a second. I have to imagine this was probably designed so that a character with such low max HP could deal with things like Execute or Hyper Beam or the 45 attack from the Nemesis, those kinds of things. And then finally over here we have Liftoff, which upgrades to the 2 cost. It's a power, take 50% less damage from attacks. If you are attacked 3 times in 1 turn, lose this power and skip your next turn. So the thing that I've drafted this a couple times because it seems super interesting. But the problem that I ended up having with Liftoff was it doesn't have to be unblocked attacks. So I was hit, it broke my block but did no damage, and then I was hit 2 times after that and it put me on the ground. And then I was stunned, skipping my next round, and then just got hit all over again. So it's very, very, very dangerous. I have to imagine you basically just want to hold this until the exact right time. But without the ability to retain, I don't know when you would. So I don't know if I'll go for Liftoff. I'll probably just pick up the Foresight. Let's get that upgrade on the Dig Deep. I mean, I'm not upgrading the other ceremony because I'm just going to play it when I draw it anyway. Unless I draw it with Stunning Blow, which I guess is why I would end up upgrading it eventually. Whew. Yikes. All right. Huntress Spirit. Your next skill this turn is played twice. Gain dex equal to twice its cost. Yeah, I'm not really seeing the usefulness for that. Like, I'd have to get it with Dig Deep after I played all my ceremonies and taken a bunch of damage. Like, that's just not. There's Overpower here, which is also another thing for our mission. I'll actually remove that poke, knowing that I'm not going to take it now. But Overpower is deal 9 damage, plus 1 for every 5 points of health that you currently have. So, obviously, much, much, much better when you have higher max HP. I mean, we also have the bargain bundle here. When you purchase this relic, the cost of cards, potions, and card removal in the same shop are reduced by 100 gold, which is interesting. 5 random attacks in your draw pile, they cost 0 this combat exhaust. That's from the base game, but it seems like it might be the most interesting thing to do here. Just put 5 attacks in my deck. But that's also going to dilute my Stunning Blow and my defense. They cost 0, that's nice. But, what, I get bad attacks once and I lose? But it is also a Berserk character, so, like, Metamorphosis makes sense. Alright, let's actually just look across for the rest of them. Seen it before, explained it. Seen it before, or rather, explained it. Recite. Recite adds 3 Psalm cards to your hand. They are 0 cost attacks, I think, that deal 3 damage to all enemies and have Wither 2. So those only wither over the course of that combat, right? Because they were added to your hand during the combat. They don't stay in your actual deck, so their Wither effect isn't carried on. This is a really good way to suddenly kill everyone with AoE. Like, Recite is effectively what Windbringer is providing to the deck for us right now. Because when we get enough strength, Windbringer provides that strength in AoE once. Whereas Recite never withers, is 2 cost, sure, but it gives us 3 Psalm cards, each of those carrying with it the strength that we've currently gained. So this benefits 3 times more from the strength. And withers less as well. I kind of want to go with the Metamorphosis because it's kind of funny, but also Recite is part of this. Crazy Rituals as well also exists. It's another ritual for this character, which is a power with ritual in name. At the start of your turn, play the effect of a random card from a random class on a random target. Yeah, it gets pretty wild. I don't know how wild I want to go. I don't know where I want to go with this. Okay, so if I bought the bargain bundle, I could then get the Crazy Rituals, Potion Belt, card removal, and then take a more bank. Right? 100, 100, nothing, nothing. Or 200, 100. Okay, so... yeah, I can. Wait, can I? It's 208, so I'll have 7 left over. Oh, no, I won't, actually. I'm just slightly short of being able to do all 3. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I just don't know what to do. I could also just buy, this is from ShopMod, just buy the mat and then sell some of my trinkets back. Or rather my relics. I just don't know what to do here. I'm actually paralyzed by indecision. I'm going to take Recite and a card removal. It's going to be super boring, but I think ultimately it's going to help us win. And boring but helps us win is good enough for me. I don't have any reason to take more bank or anything like that, do I? No, I go back to shops too regularly. Shop. Alright. Smith on the ceremony, getting the final one out. Nice. Here we go. Snecko plus the Mystic. Midas's Touch. Exhaust any number of cards in your hand. Add a random rat card to your hand for each. Well, how wild do we want to go? Because I could literally just exhaust almost all of this. Like I would play 1 ceremony. I mean, we want to exhaust the low-cost things, surely. So we wanted to exhaust the low-cost things because Snecko is going to be randomizing the costs from here on out. So we've got Fake Out. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. Swap your draw pile and your discard pile. Okay. We've also got Shadow Fade. Gain 5 intangible. Wither for 2. That's pretty wild. I mean, it does wither for 2. That's interesting. That's super interesting. I'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to play that this turn, in fact. Volatile Misfortune. At the end of your turn, retain all unplayable cards. For each, deal damage to a random enemy equal to your strength +1. So this is a way to kind of struggle your way through. Struggle being also another card that helps you do this. A deck that has Withered. See, the thing is, I can just play Shadow Fade later when I get it with the Snecko, so... I could Dark Pact, which is Shuffle a Regret into my draw pile, as well as gain 4 plated armor. Yeah, it just makes sense. Actually, I didn't even look at Core. Hang on. Yeah, do your effects. Excellent. Core is deal 5 damage to all enemies, apply X weak and vulnerable to all enemies. Oh, sorry. 5 damage to all enemies X times, which occurs before the application of weak and vulnerability. Okay. Yikes. I can probably safest to just Ceremony here. I could double defend. Actually, double defend saves me one of my plate and armor charges, so let's do that. No, it doesn't. The Snecko in the backline attacks first. The order for this game in particular is the left to right is almost always observed, and when it's not observed is typically patched in this game. Gosh, this episode is super long because I can't stop talking. My bad. There's the shadow fade, and now we're fine. Man, what if we get Snack away after this? Woo! Alright. Another stunning blow, another ceremony. I mean, we don't need stunning blow now. We've got all the intangibility we need. Hey, volatile misfortune. Play it for free because I wouldn't have done so otherwise. X to all enemies 3 times. That's 39 against the front line. And it does do it in the order that is specified on the card. And that's in particularly important because your vulnerability is not going to apply for the damage that you're dealing at the time. Cool. Show. It's way too expensive with Dark Pact. Core doesn't exhaust. It does wither. The wither value for core. What is withering from it? It has to be damage, right? Because the X times aren't affected. That's super cool. The animation for that as well as the sound. It's, that's just really nice. I like it a lot. Let's kill him. You want me to kill 2 nemesises, as well as a transient. Consider it done. Ooh, the option to actually add core to our deck. I think core might be like the way better finisher that we were looking for. Like, Recite and Windbringer are probably both way worse for me than core. Oh my gosh. Okay. Backtick from Hubris. Upon pickup, choose any non-boss, non-event relic to obtain. I'm amazed that a relic like this didn't already exist in the base game, frankly. So, I think about it, and like, especially because powers and rituals are really, really good in this deck. What if I just take Mummified Hand? Surely that's going to be more energy for me on average than, you know, an energy relic or even Black Hole. All cards cost 0. Any card entering your discard pile is exhausted. Hell yeah. If only I had Dead Branch would be so dope. Well. See, the thing is, I think I do want extra energy so that core can be more effective when core comes out, as well as taking an extra energy from the Coffee Dripper is gonna enable us to play 2 ceremonies in the same turn. I think I actually do that. I think I just need the extra, like, I think the turning point of that argument for me was when I realized that core is gonna require the X cost, so Coffee Dripper. Let's actually just get that X cost up. There's a 5 elite path here, and I'm horrible at self-preservation, so I'll see you on the other side of that one. I put Dig Deep back on top of my deck because I can literally just immediately full heal as a result. Nice. Missing out on Stunning Blow is not nice, but it's fine. I'll deal. Foresight, Defend, Tweet, Strike. Actually, probably not even Tweet. I'm trying to set up for a call later on. I know I've got the Tweet Plus left in the deck. There it is. 11 to all enemies X times. So 16 to all enemies X times. 16 by 6 is definitely more than lethal. Caca indeed. Whenever you draw a depleted card, draw 2 more cards. Again, this is very expensive for an effect that has no immediate impact. I cannot see when that is played. Especially because the depleted card stays in your hand, and you get the 2 more cards. So, that's 3 cards in your hand space that are taken up. If you put this in a deck that has enough depleted cards for this to trigger often enough, you're just going to overdraw every single turn, and you're going to have a lot of unplayable cards in your hand. like, I can see that there's definitely an archetype where you get a lot of depleted cards, you get struggle, you get devastation, you get a couple other things like that. You get the power that I played in the last unstable evolution or whatever it was. It's not unstable evolution, it was like volition or something. Can't remember. But I can see that kind of build. I just don't know when it ever works. That's the only thing. That said, it is the early days of me exploring this character, so obviously I don't know everything about them yet. Far from, in fact. Blood Ritual. Lose 12 HP, gain 2 Ritual. That's pretty wild considering I have not only core to immediately, like, cash in immediately, but I've got Dig Deep. So I can heal for 10 after the Blood Ritual. There's Turn the Tables. Turn the Tables is, replace all enemies weak with vulnerable. Apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. I mentioned that only because it's in the list of things that I want to gather. Okay, let's actually go from left right now. So deal 2 damage to a random enemy X times. Obviously extraordinarily low in its damage, and that's to make up for the fact that its effect is heal for 25% of the unblocked damage dealt. So I think this upgrades to be X plus 1. I think that's the upgrade effect of it, and it does exhaust as well. So it's not like a repeatable finisher. This is like Reaper. This is Reaper, right? Or rather, it provides a similar benefit to your deck that Reaper does. It's interesting. Got Blood Ritual, obviously, which we just spoke about. Ritual being gain strength at the start of your turn. I hope that was clear from the other rituals in the deck so far. Insight, this is super interesting. At the start of your turn, shuffle an inspiration to your draw pile. An inspiration is an unplayable status card. That's a little bit dangerous, the fact that it's a status card, because I wonder, like, there's a lot of effects in the game that destroy statuses now. Elixir Potion, the antivirus software, there's the med kit synergy that I can't remember the name of right now from Hubris mod. I wonder if those would just destroy inspiration before it takes effect. But it exhausts itself and draws 2 more cards. It's cool. There's also Brace for Impact, just gain 2 plated armor straight up. Not bad. As I was talking about earlier, you get plated armor using effects like that. Brace, we've seen before. Flinch, we've seen before. Blood for the Gods. 2, take 15 damage. Next turn, heal twice that much HP. So it's 2 energy, heal for 15, non-exhaust, delayed by a turn. That's either great or horrible, and I don't know what. Like, I'm not certain. I'm trying very specifically here, by the way, to give you my most unvarnished opinions of this mod, like I've done with other mods, and not be super precious just because it was developed by people that I know. Love for the Gods. I don't know. Hexing is super interesting. That's a power at the start of your turn. Apply 2 weak and 1 vulnerable to all of the enemies who don't intend to attack. Now, having played with this a couple times, I will tell you, it's remarkable how often enemies attack. That's still, I think, like a really cool power, though. It upgrades to 1 cost. Mimic Huntress, we've spoken about. Desperate Swing is the inverse of Overpower, so it's for every 5 points of HP missing, you get the benefit. Trade-off we've spoken about. Cower is gain 1 vulnerability, apply 3 weak to all enemies. Applying 3 weak to all enemies in a repeatable fashion is not that bad, but you wouldn't need that many cards to do it, so this is a card that can kind of do that by itself, because imagine, by the next time you draw Cower, they're probably still weak. That said, we've got Core. Stunning Blow is effectively, like, I don't know if it's ever correct to turn down Stunning Blow, because you just play it every turn that you draw it. And it buys you time while your rituals build. And it's intangibility, so I can play it before I play Blood Ritual, and then I'll lose 1 HP. Wild. Tucking Feathers is draw 3 cards, gain block equal to their total cost. So, like, on average, that's going to be, 3 block 3 cards for 1. Drawing 3 for 1, that's an unupgraded skim. This character doesn't have, Well, see, the thing is, this character does have access to a lot of card draw. It's just delayed. It's inspiration from Insight and from another card that also uses Insight that I have not yet. Ah, never mind. Daydream down here. Shuffle 4 inspiration into draw pile. Anyway, turn the tables we've looked at as well. Survival Instinct, I don't really understand this one. Can only be played if you haven't played any other cards this turn. Gain 1 intangible, become entangled. So you gain an intangible, you become entangled for that turn, I have to imagine, only for that turn. So unless you can negate that intangibility with artifacting, you can't play attacks after it, and you can't play anything before it. So it's a turn that I guess you use it on turns where you want to set up your powers. Actually, that makes a lot more sense. Huh. We've also got bounce back here, remove all of your debuffs. I assume this means all, because there was a servant card that also read remove all of your debuffs that only removed weak, vulnerability, and frailty. Although it did clarify in its tooltip that debuffs include weak, frailty, and vulnerability. And then I argued that include does not necessarily mean that that is the entirety of the list, and that's why I was confused. This doesn't have a tooltip, so I don't know. I'm assuming that means that it's all. But then what are considered debuffs, right? Confusion is considered a debuff. Can you remove confusion with this? Can you remove confusion from a relic that gives you confusion? If you do remove it from Snecko Heart, in particular, which makes the first card you draw every turn cost 0, nothing can be confused by more than increasing its cost by 1. How's that work? Pecker is 2, deal 1 damage 5 times. The upgrade is 1 cost, deal 1 damage 7 times. It's a single target finisher for a strength deck. Daydream with the inspirations as well. And then Sow the Seeds. Respites are unplayable status cards that heal you for 2 HP at the end of your turn. So this actually also contributes the unplayable build. Anyway, the one that I'm definitely taking is Blood Ritual. I had to take a long time on this screen in particular because this is a lot of new cards and this is a new character. So, like, I know I'm taking a long time, but bear with me. Ignore the next Wither effect this combat. Well, that's not important at all. I mean, the only Wither effect we have is... Oh, wait, this combat. Okay, never mind. We'll play it then. Sweet. Ceremony. Blood Ritual. Defense strike. Hell yeah. Get that damage. Damn. I hate that I have to stunning blow here. Wanted to get that ceremony out, damn it. Well, looks like we're gonna have our pick of the plays in the next turn. 13 strength. I think it's theoretically possible I have lethal here. I mean, hell, it wasn't far. And I actually will use this to finish it off. Swift Potion, as well as Resilience, Struggle, Overpower. Thank you. We've seen all of those before. I'm being really careful to make sure that anything new I walk us through. Sacrificial Dive. If the enemy intends to attack, lose HP equal to half its total attack damage. It loses 99 strength this turn. I don't know if I'm ever going to want to use that, so let's remove that. Ceremony, Blood Ritual, Foresight, and D. Hell yeah. Well, I mean, Recite and Windbringer are the AoE that deal with these enemies. But I don't want to include more cards in my deck from the Recite right now. Because I just want to get back to my core as quickly as possible. As you can see here, I'm spreading out the damage intentionally so that any of my AoE effects, including the Psalms through the core, have the ability to go the distance. Shamefully, it's necessary. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, on this turn, I'm more incentivized to defend than kill. There we go. I think that's all of the HP I could have eked out of that. Roost, this is incredibly interesting to me as well. Because you don't play this when you draw this. Not intentionally, at least. You want to save this for the right turns. Like, the wither mechanic and the increase of cards cost by 1 mechanic, they're super interesting because they kind of invert the typical power scale, right? Typically, you get more powerful as the fight goes on, or more powerful as the whole run goes on, and those get less over the combat and over the run, respectively. Sacrificial attack is, again, another way to deal all of your damage to all enemies as a finisher. There's a lot of finishers for a strength deck in here. Deal 0 damage to all enemies. Strength affects sacrificial attack 2 times, lose all strength. Upgrades to 3. So, because it has lose all strength, you definitely have to kill with it. Yeah, I think we're fine. Like, the closest there for me is Roost. Actually, I'll take it. Actually, I don't even think it was correct to consider not taking Roost there, so that's my bad. Fetch and attack from my draw pile. I'm gonna get the strike out of there just so it's not in that draw pile, I guess? Because I want the stunning blow left in there. Naturally. Should have done that in a different order. Could have got a little bit more healing out. It's fine, though. Finally got... Ugh. I'll Roost there for saving 3 HP. Only because I don't think this fight's going on much longer. Yep, draw Core or Stunning Blow. I mean, I'll use Stunning Blow instead of Core. Because Core withers. Core may have withered a couple of times so far as well. Anyway, strike with... Ah, dang. Actually, I can just defend over the top of it. Nice. Then kill next turn. So I don't have to wither the Windbreaker. 5 Ritual in play. This card's pretty insane. Blood Ritual. With the access to healing that this character has, that card is really dangerous. I've seen all of these before. Pretty happy not to take any. It's the Pilcrow from Black Mod. I'm kind of okay with taking the 9 damage this turn. Again, I was talking about this literally at the very start of this recording, and that is to say that you kind of have a curve, right? You get less powerful at the start of the fights and more powerful at the end of it. End of them, rather. I think I am going to lose more HP over the course of this combat, so I'm going to leave the Dig Deep into my deck. Stunning Blow is huge here. Stunning Blow, then Blood Ritual, only losing 1 HP. Definitely should have tweeted first, by the way, that's my bad. Alright. 2 burns in my deck. Oh no, what an end it has been for me. So this is 14 to all enemies X times, 14 with vulnerabilities, 21 X times, 21 X times, 24 total. It's not going to be enough. Woo! Dig Deep, really saving my bacon like it's storing a collection of pigs. I love it. like a really old don't flop line from a bad bars contest between Marlowe and Shuffle T. All right. Well, this one's just defend. Right? Oh no, it's not. It's tweet and then yeah, 37 literally exact. Fossilized helix prevent the first time you would lose HP each combat. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds cool. Take none of those. Transform a card pretty happily. Maybe I want to transform the Windbringer just to get out of that game. Hey, removed another card. Nice. And also got Wild Instinct. If you have less than 50% HP when drawn, deal 20 damage to all enemies. It's an attack. Now, this has killed me on Spikers. And I wonder if that is an experience that is going to be shared by other people. That having an autoplay attack like that hurts. Okay, so here we've got Sack Scars, which is lose 6 HP, gain 2 max HP, but you can't heal for 3 more turns, which is really rough. That said, I really want it. May want to play the Dex Potion in the Essence of Steel over the course of this. Huh. Woo! Yikes. What's our next hand? Woo! Not great for a character that can't defend. I don't want to recite yet. I don't want a bunch of psalms. Not until I actually have some strength to speak of. I'm going to play that literally just to save me the 4 HP this turn. Because that Entangle terrifies me. Alright, I'm going to play Blood Ritual to get myself below half HP here. I know this is risky, but it makes the draw of... Damn, the attack really good. Okay. I think we're probably now dead. What with the vulnerability applied? Yeah. Oh, with the weakness on the enemies from Core, though. I didn't consider the weakness. Dig deep. Dig deep. Hey, Wild Instincts. Nice. Also got Stunning Blow and Roost. Not bad. I should have played the Roost there just for the 1 HP. Come on, give me Dig Deep. You actually have to be kidding me, right? Give me Dig Deep. Hey! We got Dig Deep. Just gonna heal back up, and we're all gonna pretend that didn't happen. Savvy? Question card. On future card reward screens, you have 1 additional card from which to choose. Future card reward screen, so it doesn't necessarily include this one. Evade is some nice extra energy that is super useful with the Core, especially. Quantum Egg from Replay the Spire. Whenever a card is created during combat, it is upgraded. Now, I don't think the Psalms can be upgraded, and I don't think the Inspirations can be upgraded, because I've had Quantum Egg with them before, and that didn't seem to do the do. See, the thing is, if I Stunning Blow this turn, I take 1 damage, and the buffer is lost. If I don't do it, I take 1 damage, and the buffer's lost, so... I think I just, like, chill. Ceremony, Foresight. If I defend, that goes down to 8. I don't think I want to roost this early in this combat in particular is the thing. Just because the hits get, yeah, exactly, pretty big. I'm going to play Core literally just for the weekend right now. Actually, I probably should have played the Blood Ritual thereafter. That's my bad. Yeah, that's on me. In fact, to the point that I will say, if we end up losing this, it's almost certainly because of exactly that turn. Core's very quickly finding its way out of our deck. There's a stunning blow. Very nice draw. Kill the Pilcrow. Gremlin food whenever you rest. Upgrade a random card. Unfortunately, I'm incapable of resting. Full house. Super interesting. Draws 9 cards. With a 2. The previous is with a 3. So you can play this, like, up until the 5th time you play it. It's great. Yeah. Especially because I have Evade. I think it might be a pretty reasonable decision for me to take that. Reversal Withering, but it's probably Smith, right? Smith the Core. X+1 and X+1. X+1's pretty good. I'm going to reverse the Withering on it. I'll upgrade it in the next space. I don't think I can play Sack Scars, otherwise I'm definitely going to lose this combat, so... $23, $27. Damn. That's really annoying. I don't get to keep my buffer here. Alright, it's definitely full house. I'm thinking like Ceremony, Ritual, Dig Deep. Just get myself as close back to full HP as I can get. Am I weak to everyone once? All right now? No. Right. Can't attack next turn. That's going to be the problem. Roost certainly found the right turn to make its way into my hand. Stunning Blow, however, did the inverse. We, our healing has left the deck already, by the way, so we do need to get a move on. Okay. There's Wild Instinct. I'll evade, then Full House. Yeah, there's the call for the kills. Oh, I should have just played a bunch of cards. No. 300 gold, as well as, yeah, I screwed up there. It's difficult to change. Hang on. Also, there's actually one we didn't see. Redirect. Gain block equal to 5 times your strength, then lose all strength with the 1. I really want to go for the extra elite. I'm not going to, though. Unfortunately, have to play Stunning Blow this turn. Do I? I can just play Roost. Blood Ritual for no damage. Fetch and attack from my draw pawn. Haha! Right, of course, because Fetch only works. Fetch is not technically drawing, so that wouldn't work. That makes sense that it didn't work there. I'm sad about it, but that doesn't mean I was correct. I was definitely wrong. Especially because I can't heal with the coffee dripper. It's just super important I get all my rituals out so that I can dig deep. The huge heal. Very alliterative, just lovely. Okay. We'll tweet. Right. 2, and then I get... So this actually only cost me 2 HP to play. Made sure to play something first. Although the healing seems to come through before the card is actually in play. Good. And I'm gonna dig deep to get a bunch of that HP back. Wild Instinct tries to prematurely end the battle for me. Don't want to play another full house. There we go. PR Potion as well as Molting. Now, this is a card I've been looking for the entire time. Exhaust a card, gain 10 block. Or 15 if it was a depleted card. This, the unupgraded version, I think is actually exhaust a card, gains 7 or 11 or something like that. But this is just an excellent card. Like, this is True Grit plus more. Wild. Especially for a character that doesn't have that much access to defense. Wild. I'll take the special relic here. Muted. Oh. Mutagenic Dexterity. This is from Infinite Spire. Typically, this would be Mutagenic Strength. But Mutagenic Dexterity, start each combo 3 dexes, lost at the end of your turn. That's garbage for me. Like, it's useless for this character in particular, unfortunately. All right, let's smith the core. Get those +1s. All right, Bronze or Tom Tom, show me what you got. Woo! What you have... It's gonna get that Warrior Essence out of my deck as well. Oh, okay, got it. Cool. Pretty much exactly what I was looking for as well. Alright. That is to say, all of the rest of my ceremonies. Yikes. Took my best 2 cards there, so you seem to know what you're doing. Orbs. I'll take no damage this turn, but there goes my buffer, unfortunately. Damn. Stunning Blow totally makes sense this turn. Hey, we got my Blood Ritual back. I'd love to full house. Actually, you know what? I have to replenish full house anyway, so sure, deplete it. Yeah, it's still correct to just core. Get the giant amount of damage and effects out. Hang on. Core. Oh, apply X+1 weak to all enemies and X+1 vulnerable to all enemies. Okay, I thought it was apply weak and vulnerable to all enemies X+1 times, but which would mean this is incorrect. But no, this is correct. That's how the card says it should work. That makes sense. Yeah, here's the 51. Thankfully, I'm just above. Thank you, Strawberry. Otherwise, this would be a terrifyingly sad moment for us. Yeah, with this much strength, we just get the Psalms. Hey, and the Psalms are upgraded. Nice. So the Quantum Egg is working on those. Don't know if it would work on the Inspiration, though. I don't think it would work on the Inspiration because the Inspiration is a status card, so status cards don't typically have upgrades. I think that might be the reasoning behind it not working there. I'm definitely going to be killing the Bronze Automaton before we go through the deck again, so... I'm not perfecting this fight anyway, so I may as well just avoid Withering Core. Yeah. Well, not much of that's going to happen. Fair enough, though. Woo! Look at that awakened form. Costs 1 less energy for each boss killed, and it makes all cards cost 1 less energy. The thing is, it's 5 by default, so I don't know why it's 4 right now, because I've killed 2 bosses so far. I'll take it, though. That's a bunch of energy for us. Is that good? I mean, it is when I have full house, but it's bad when I don't. How do I play it? It's 4 cost. Probably with evade. Alright. Still just want to take it. Hey, Snekawai. Yeah, that's just like instant win right now, isn't it? Yeah. Specifically because it draws 2 additional cards per turn. Not even because of the effect of the confusion, but also because of the effect of the confusion. What the hell is... Alright, I don't even know what that enemy at the end of the floor is, so... We'll see. Awakened form. Costs 1 less energy for each boss killed. Cards cost 1 less energy. Nice. I'm just gonna quickly stand here for a bit. Do a pretty ridiculous amount of damage. Be ridiculously well prepared for the next 10. How are you costing 3? Huh? Wait a second. That shouldn't be possible. So this means that the confusion is applying after the awakened, which actually makes awakened confusion like kind of garbage. It's unfortunate. Because otherwise molting would maximum be 2 cost. So the way the awakened form reads with all cards cost 1 less energy seems like it would apply after the randomization of the cost from confusion. Like, I didn't even question it initially. I was just like, yeah, it's definitely going to act like that. Took it for granted. Evidently, that wasn't correct to done. Leave that brace in here for later. Go. Finally cash in on it immediately 1 turn later. Stunning blow. I mean, literally now we just pick up all of the stunning blows that we can get in this deck and win. Good lord. Got way too much HP. Redirect, overexert, warrior. Oh, actually, none of these, obviously. So overexert is new though, but double your energy. For each energy gain, you lose 2 HP. Super interesting. But I can't take it, obviously. Remove a card and upgrade a random card. Yeah, we'll be doing that. I feel like most of the 0 cost cards now need to leave the deck. Well, I'm not going to stick to it, though. I would love to not lose max HP here. Madness, they get immediately upgraded and they become 0 cost, but then the thing is, the 0 cost immediately gets overwritten by the Snekawai, so I don't know about that one. I think I actually do have to lose the max HP here, as much as I desperately did not want to. We'll start with Blood Ritual. Panacea seems a pretty good pick. Awesome. Hey, and I don't even lose my dex at the end of that turn that was provided by the mutagen dexterity. Oh, awesome. I get to evade for 0 effects. That's right, all of 0 effects. There's the awakened form. Alright. See how it works. I mean, it works on this active hand, but then it'll stop. Cool. And now can't evade either, unfortunately. I mean, also, there's just not really that much in that hand that I could do. Foresight, and then Stunning Blow on the target that won't damage me for hitting it. Win, Dig Deep. I mean, I would take the second Dig Deep if I didn't already have the Snecko now. Stunning Blow. I'm definitely going to be taking that. Also, Funnel I could take for 4 energy. Oh, sorry. I could take for the 72 gold refund. Huntress Essence. Heals for 3 HP and draws 3 cards for each card in your exhaust pile. How often do we exhaust cards? 1? 1. We exhaust 1 card. Well, let's take the Stunning Blow, obviously. Also, empty bottle potions may be used twice. That seems really good for potion shielding in particular. I think I actually just expend... Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, wait. There is so much a better idea to do here. This is going to be super cool. Continue. That's just reloading the shop from before I purchased anything. Now, if I fight this shopkeeper, I have 1,000 gold. You get 1 point of plated armor per... right? You get 1 point of plated armor from the shopkeeper per 50 gold. 20 plated armor at the start of each fight, I think just wins everything for me. So if there's anything here that I think I need to take before the combat, I should take it now. Nope. The combat may kill me, but I think it's totally worth it for this. This is like cool as hell. Hey, no stealing. Who said? Ooh, Awakened Form is actually here in the first hand. Nice. Enemy doesn't intend to attack, and I'm definitely not going to let him escape. Although that might mean that I need to use Core this turn, maybe. Thanks. Foresight seems totally useful here. Gotta remember, all of those need to be used first, because my turn is taken away from me as soon as I kill the merchant. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, wow. We hard low rolled on those ceremonies, by the way. Yikes. Gotta get him in play, otherwise I'm dead, but... Stunning Blow is only gonna make sense when the enemy starts to pick up. Gains 35 block at the end of its turn. All thorns damage are reduced to 1. Yeah, that's fair enough. Stunning Blow really doesn't do that much. It would just change it to 1 by 20, which I think you might realize it already is. Roost is really good. I want to be able to get back to it, so I'm going to have to burn the tweet here. I'm also going to shield so that I don't lose the buffer this turn. 1 by 15 plus a self buff. All right, here's our blood ritual. Defend, defend, defend. Tweet at him. All right. Got 5 out there now, and you are buffing again. I don't know if I've ever seen what you're about to do, and I do not know if I want to see it. We definitely want a Foresight. I want a Core. But it actually doesn't even remove any artifacting from the enemy. Oh, sorry, it does remove 2 artifacting from the enemy, but that's all it does. Alright, I'm still calling. that's 80 damage right there. I don't think I am literally at all capable of defending from that. Yeah, this is going to be the end of the run. I did not know that they got a strength potion for 3 strength. That is wild as hell. Yeah. Unfortunately, our HP would never stand up to that. Like, literally, we needed Stunning Blow in that current hand. I could have purchased the Stunning Blow before I decided to fight the Merchant. The reason I didn't do that is because I didn't think the Merchant had any attacks that did, unless you had Philosopher's Stone, like I've had recently while fighting Merchant, that did more than 1 by some amount. So I assumed that Stunning Blow was never going to be able to do anything over the course of it. Which, as it turns out, was incorrect. This episode has been a trillion years long, so I'm just going to quickly say that my name has been Rhapsody, and the name of the game has been Slay the Spire Modded. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content of the game, past, present, and future, as well as a link to each of the individual GitHub repositories where you can find each of the mods, including the newly included Beaked the Cultist. Try yourself. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.